Your dividend stock just paid you $30. Your shares also just dropped $30. You've made exactly nothing. This one's gonna ruffle some feathers, but here's why I am not a huge fan of dividend investing. Let's say your company is worth $100. That valuation includes all the cash you have in your business. So let's say you make a product and the machinery you use is worth $20. The product itself is worth $20 and you have $60 in cash sitting in the bank. Now let's say I'm an investor in your company and you pay me $30 in dividends. Well, now your company isn't worth $100 anymore, it's worth $70 because you just paid me $30. So what actually happened here? Well, the dividend you paid me changed nothing. So as an investor, my share used to be worth $100 and now it's worth $70 and I have $30 in cash. In addition to that, you triggered a tax event on my end, one that I had absolutely no control over. Essentially, you, the company, chose when I was going to be taxed by the IRS, because by giving me a dividend, it's a taxable event on me. So as an investor, why would I want the company to control when I have to pay taxes? And if you look at the charts of dividend stocks and ETFs, they basically go in a serpentine motion. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. They may go a little up and to the right over time, but it's not going to be much accelerated growth. And that's for a reason, because every time there's a dividend distribution, the stock drops by the amount of dividend that was distributed. It's just the way it works. You give out cash, the value of your company drops. So the stock doesn't appreciate as much. But as an investor, you are paying for it with your dollars because whenever a dividend is distributed, you pay taxes on it. I don't want to pay more taxes than I have to for the next 30 years. I want to accumulate wealth. I'm not interested in paying more taxes every year than I have to. Also, in my mind, when a company distributes dividends, they're saying, I don't really know what to do with all this extra money that we've made. And rather than put the money back in the business to facilitate more growth, be more innovative, we're just going to give the money out to the shareholders. Now, this is not a blanket statement, but in most cases, companies that don't know what to do with the money they're making tend to not be growing very quickly anymore. And as an investor, if your business is done growing, then I'm out, regardless of the dividend. I do hold 2 ETFs and 1 mutual fund in my portfolio that distribute dividends, but they hold a very specific purpose in my portfolio, and it's not anything to do with the dividends that they pay out. If I didn't like the underlying assets in the fund and I didn't want to use them as a way to diversify my portfolio, I absolutely would not invest in them solely for the reason that they give dividends. And if you are a dividend investor, that's great. Do whatever works for you. This is my opinion, and personally, I don't want a dividend portfolio. This might be a hot take, but everybody's entitled to their opinions, and that's mine. I hope it at least gave you food for thought and something to think about in your own portfolio. Follow for more personal investing and finance tips, and you can also